ladies and gentlemen, we're taking our first look at Thanos Wins' new uniform, particularly for PvP. We will do a PvE test of him later and compare him to Farmer Thanos, but I have to wait for the CTP Unequip event that's coming tomorrow in order for it to actually make sense, because it's just not really worth it. So we're working with a CTP, a mighty CTP of Conquest right now. We have a 6-star artifact, which recently got a massive buff. So it now increases his damage to heroes and villains and increases his HP by 15%. So his artifact is just absolutely nutty. Now very, very strong for him. I don't know if it's worth a selector for like the bingo for the anniversary, but you should probably judge that based on his performance in this video or other videos that you see, other reviews. But it's certainly much more valuable now than before. Before, Thanos' artifact was basically worthless. We got the max type enhancement, we've got the skills, whatever, we have Magneto Striker for whatever it's worth, and then we have 12 Odin's Blessings with the 4 heal and the extra HP, and those are what the stats look like. Now, I want to clear this up at the beginning of the video. A lot of people have tagged me online. I was wrong. So they tagged me because I was wrong. I'm not saying they were wrong. Alex was wrong. I was wrong because I was throwing a fit about his Hero Slayer passive not increasing his defense. I thought it applied on the actual details page. I think it's a bit hit and miss, or sort of it's inconsistent. Sometimes the defense buffs appear, the all defense buffs appear and apply on the character details page. Sometimes they don't. But what I'm saying is that it appears that in game, once you're into a fight, into a world boss, whatever, Thanos will have a passive icon for the Hero Slayer icon that does confer the super armor and the 50% all defense, etc., etc. So he is not bugged. I was wrong about that. But yeah, the other thing I wanted to talk about just really quickly here, his uniform options are as follows. They're actually pretty good, besides Doctor Strange. I also wanted to quickly talk about the event token. I mentioned this in yesterday's video, but then I didn't talk about it. But as you can see here, we have the Black Swan event token, We have the Clever Mischief token, but we don't have the Black Order Event Quest token. So this appears to be the update token that's going to land next week with the mid-month update, right? Because we should be seeing sneak peeks tomorrow or something like that for next week's update is going to be, because it's already been a week and a day since we got the update, and every 2 weeks we know there's going to be a mid-month. So this is interesting because it's titled Black Order. Now, we did have Black Swan added as the last member of the Black Order, and then, of course, Thanos got a uniform, but that's it. So I would speculate that the mid-month update is going to feature at least one member of the Black Order, because it's called a Black Order Event Quest token. Now, I could be wrong about that, but it'd be kind of weird if the mid-month update doesn't feature the Black Order at all, but then the token's called Black Order, right? That's just my guess. Again, it could be anything, of course, but it would be kind of strange if it was that. But then again, we've seen a lot of strange things lately, like them using Angel for the Black Swan event infographic. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, maybe we're going to see like a tier 4 for Proxima or something like that. Maybe like another support for World Boss Legend Plus, something like that. Maybe Supergiant finally. We'll have to wait and see what that mid-month is. But my guess is it's going to be Black Order centric. I'm hoping personally for either something for Corvus or something for Black Dwarf, because they're more PvP oriented, but I wouldn't mind a support either. Now, as far as the team up for Thanos, we're just going to go with double support here. Mystique for the offense and Colossus for the defense. And we're just going to play him through on auto and see how he does for a few matches here. I'm just going to actually queue up just genuinely auto here against some teams and see how he performs fully on auto. Now, this is not the only test I want to do for Thanos, but this is the first test that I want to do for Thanos, because it's important to highlight the strengths of the character. And if the strengths of the character doesn't include autoplay, then they don't include autoplay, right? Like that's a genuine concern for some characters. So we saw his passive trigger there. He healed for 70%. He's doing really well. He killed Surfer twice. Let's see how he does against Madeline here. If Madeline dies, or maybe if Adam dies, he's doing really well right now. I didn't think he'd be doing this well. I want to show you guys the passive. I talked about the Hero Slayer passive. It's there's so many passives, dude. Oh, I think I see it. That one. Yeah, there you go. So the Hero Slayer passive is active. It's a little yellow icon with a black shield in it. Holy shit, he just fully autoed that team. Wow. Cool. Okay. So yeah, it seems like he's better now. I mean, it's very bizarre, but about a week ago when I was testing him on stream, I did not have a very good time. I did not have a very good time testing him on stream, and I was actually kind of disappointed with his performance. Now, this Thanos is running a regen. That's interesting. Oh, and he's doing a shit ton of damage. My Thanos is getting guard broken like crazy, which is pretty cringe. But hey, wow, it gets it done. Damage reflect immunity. Okay, very nice. You like to see that. Oh, too much damage, too much damage, too much damage. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's fine. He died there. We're gonna get washed here. He did pretty well against that first Thanos, but then this Silver Surfer ended him. I couldn't see what his CTP was. I want to do one more here on auto, just against random opponents before we take him into some other content. But that was pretty good. One thing I think I think I still believe about Thanos is I don't like his autoplay rotation. I like how he prioritizes his first skill because it's very powerful. It has, you know, remove active buff, debuff cleanse, you know, iframe ignore. It's his first skill is very powerful, but I feel as though the rest of his autoplay rotation is not very good. Just me personally. And he doesn't, for a counter to Silver Surfer, he doesn't seem to be very consistent. He doesn't have a lot of iframes. So because Thanos doesn't have a lot of iframes, you're basically, if you're going to play him manually, I believe his fourth skill is his best iframe. It can be kind of tricky to avoid Thanos, to avoid taking too much reflect damage with Thanos. So yeah, that was the autoplay stuff. That was not bad, to be honest. Let's see how he performs. Oh, Davey. Jesus. Okay. My alliance leader. Let's see here. So now we're going against the top dogs. Those were just like random Vibranium players. Now we're going to go against some of the best builds in the game. Genuinely, some of the most stacked accounts in the game, to see if he can hold his own at all. So he gets the first kill on Surfer. That was quite nice. He takes a shit ton of damage there. Yeah, see, he just takes a lot of damage. And then he... Oh, wow, he gets the kill again. Wow. Let's see how it is against Black Swan. We haven't covered Black Swan. He triggers her passive immediately. Oh, and then she one-shots him. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Thanos is doing better than I expected him to do. Yeah, I still don't like his autoplay rotation. I think it could be better. But he's doing quite well. He definitely seems tankier than before. I think Colossus is a really good support for Thanos. I will put this out there. I think if you're having trouble with your Thanos in PvP, you should consider bringing Colossus along. I think we might see, with Silver Surfer and Thanos especially, having the tools and the defense. Ooh, I just got one-shotted. To take down a lot of metas. I think you're going to see a lot more supports coming around in PvP, and we might see the resurgence in timeline battle of like single support teams, right? So you have like a leadership and damage dealer, a second damage dealer, and then a support. I think a team like this that Chris is running, that Thanos, Colossus, Silver Surfer team, that might be one of the strongest teams, because we know Silver Surfer can solo teams. We know Colossus is a very good support for that, and now it seems like Thanos is doing the same. The only real issue I have here, and why I'm not sure if Conquest is the best CTP for him, is he is getting guard broken a lot. Not by Surfer specifically, but by other characters. He can get locked a lot into guard break by characters like Madeline, sometimes by Jean, by other Thanoses, sometimes by Wolverine even. So yeah, I'm not sure if Conquest is the best for him. It might be that a Conquest is best for him if it's a brilliant Conquest, because it gives him much higher damage reduction. If not a brilliant Conquest, then maybe a Mighty Authority, because that's going to give him access to steal a lot faster, a lot sooner, to interrupt that guard break. You can see he's getting guard broken. Jean guard breaks a lot. But that was actually really good. Holy shit. I was expecting this video to be a lot more negative, and it's really not. Thanos is doing really well. Weird. I don't want to, you know, start with these conspiracy theories that he was stealth buffed, but this is really bizarre. His performance from one week to the next is completely different, and I didn't change anything about his build. His build is exactly the same for me. Yeah, aside from Authority and Conquest, I'm not sure. Maybe if you have a lot of HP on your cards. Wow, he has like 1 HP. Possibly a Brilliant Egg could work for Thanos, because again, that Vitality, yeah, is going to give him You know, it's going to give him a lot of healing. It's going to give him access to super guard break immunity. But I still think, I don't think it's possible, really, with Thanos to cover his biggest weakness, which is, I think, Reflect, without having a really, like, a brilliant conquest, or, you know, just having, like, a really stacked build. Because the other CTP that gives you access to Reflect immunity, which is Greed, I don't think Greed is going to work on Thanos at all, to be honest. I think he excels when he's very tanky, because he has a lot of burst damage, and he has sometimes inconsistent healing. Like, his healing is not that consistent, and without access to Revive or Immortality, the Greed is too much of a gamble. You know, I think even with very, very high defense on your cards and very, very high HP, the Greed is just too much of a gamble, and you would be making Thanos slightly better against Reflect, and then making him just generally worse against everything else. Worse against the mirror matchup, worse against Atom one-shots. There, I just survived the Atom one-shot. Wow. So yeah, holy shit, Thanos is really good. Wow. They cooked with this one, eh? They genuinely cooked with this one. I'm loving this, because this is not what I expected, and I expected to deliver a lot of bad news and to kind of like damper the hype on Thanos. But yeah, this uniform is performing exceptionally well in PvP. I will say this for Thanos, like to Thanos, like if I had to find something wrong with the uniform, to be honest with you, besides what I highlighted about his autoplay rotation, is I'm not a big fan of playing him on manual. I will say this. Again, this might be just my own, whatever, thoughts, paranoia, whatever you want to call it, like, you know, your own superstition. But I find some characters are better on autoplay than others. And I find Thanos is not... some characters are better on auto than others. And some characters are worse on manual than others, if that makes sense. And I find that Thanos, for me, is one of those characters that I don't really like his manual play experience, if that makes sense. That was really good. But I do still find it, like, it feels very spammy for Thanos, and it almost feels a little bit luck-based when I play with him on manual. On auto, it's a different story. Despite not liking his autoplay rotation very much, you can see it's effective. It's obviously very effective. I still think it could be better. But yeah, it's mainly against the counters for Reflect that I find that's the case. But yeah, holy shit, bro was clapping. Bro was absolutely clapping cheeks, and I have a good build, but it's not like near the top or anything. Yo, this is great. This is such a turnaround. Wow. A week ago it was really mid. I gotta say, a week ago it was really mid. I don't know what happened. I don't know what changed. He's very good in Otherworld Battle right now, so that's why I don't want to cover that in this video, because it would be completely, what do you call it? You know, it would skew, essentially. It would skew his performance, because as you can see here, super villains, basic damage dealt, increased by 250, so that's a buff to Thanos. Pure evil characters, basic damage dealt, increased by 250. So right here, right, just from those first two buffs, Thanos is getting a 500% damage dealt increase. So yeah, yes, he's very good for Otherworld Battle right now. Should you use him? Sure. Am I going to show his performance? No, not really. I think he's good for Otherworld Battle. I think he still has some survivability issues for sure. But I think in general, you should build your Thanos with survivability in mind. I think he's one of those characters where the tankier you make him, the better it's going to be. And then, you know, you can sort of work backwards as you get to the tankiness. You can sort of work backwards with a little bit of damage to see where that sweet spot is. But I think if you start with damage, you're going to be disappointed because, like I said, without access to Revive, without access to Immortality, he can sometimes feel a little bit squishy, particularly when his defenses are not super consistent. Like, yeah, the HP heal is nice, but it's every 2 seconds, so you do have a small downtime. It's only a second, but in this game, burst damage comes so quick, and you can get bursted down. And then, of course, he has that really nice 70% heal on his uniform. But again, that has 100%, 100-second cooldown. So if you just get a little bit unlucky with the timing, you can end up getting bursted down twice by different characters. But yeah, I'm happy with the Conquest for sure. I don't know if this is I don't think this is the best option for him. And I think, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I think you can still get a lot of value out of this one here, out of a Mighty Conquest. So I don't think you have to go Brilliant for Thanos. but I certainly think the best results will be with a Brilliant for Thanos, which, I mean, doesn't really say much because most characters, that is the case. But anyways, that's his PvP performance. I'm not even going to bother showing you the Farmer Thanos PvP performance because it didn't make an impact last year when it came out. And since then, we've gotten Adam, Silver Surfer, and others. So there's really no reason to believe that it would be any better now. It wasn't buffed at all. I mean, it was buffed in terms of the number of hits. That is true. But defensively, that was really the issue, is that he wasn't tanky enough. And that is, yeah, that is, you know, that hasn't changed. So yeah, very strong, very, very strong for PvP. Wow. Yeah. I think I would still go with Surfer over Thanos though, because of the revive, if I had to choose. So yeah, although I'm very happy for him, I think he comes out at a time that is awkward for more casual players. Obviously, Thanos buffs and Thanos, you know, lovers are eating good right now, because now they have 2 uniforms to play with. But for non-Thanos, for just like PvP meta enjoyers, I think Silver Surfer represents more overall value than Thanos at the current moment. But anyways, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button. It helps with the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.